Seems like I've been letting my car friends down. Well, we're going to load up the car, head over to Cartersville, pick up my brother, and we're going to go visit Savoy Automobile Museum. Come along with us. We're going to be loving the real world. Oh, wait, is that a UFO? No, that's the Spirit of Speed. It is a 5-ton hood ornament based on various automobile mascots of the past. What hood ornament does this remind you of? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. The first car we seen as we entered into the museum was this 1903 Oldsmobile. It had a huge 1.6 liter engine that put out a total of 5 horsepower at a whopping 600 RPMs. Hold on to your hat and make sure you don't get caught up in that chain drive underneath. Yeah, this next one might be a little hard to stomach for us Georgia fans. It's a replica of the Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech. I believe it will look better red and black. Okay, Daddy, you really don't need to be in the car, and you really don't need to be cheering on Georgia Tech. I must say this 1954 Kaiser Darren Roadster looks pretty good in white and red. Just 435 were ever produced. You don't have to worry about bumping your doors when you get out of this one. They just tuck away into the front fender. What type of engine went into this car? Well, it was a 161 cubic inch Willis F-head inline 6 that produced only 90 horsepower. The car cost nearly $4,000 in 1954. Today they go from anywhere from $87,000 to $120,000. If you want to pick me one up, feel free. The 1937 Cord Model 812 was front-wheel drive and has to be one of my favorite luxury cars. Sadly, this one does not have a supercharger that would have the large chrome pipes out the hood and also known as the Phantom. And you thought that front-wheel drives and superchargers was a new thing? You just gotta love that little pre-selected gear shifter and the beautiful grille and those hideaway headlights. The 1941 Packard Super 8 180 sedan was advertised as the most powerful 8-cylinder engine offered by any automobile manufacturer in the 1940s. It had a 356 cubic inch engine that produced 160 horsepower at 3,600 RPMs. This was a top-of-the-line Packard, and it had electric windows, a huge back seat, and only 930 were ever produced. This is a 1959 AMC Nash Metropolitan. It was marketed from 1953 to 1961, and it was assembled in England. In 1954, Nash and Hudson merged together to form AMC. So from 1954 to 1962, Hudson sold the rebadged version of the Metropolitan also. This is a Chrysler Airflow that was produced by Chrysler from 1934 to 1937. In April of 1930, Chrysler built a wind tunnel in Highland Park. They tested at least 50 scale models and found that the current box automobile design was more aerodynamic when tested backward, which resulted in the design of the Airflow. The original price was $1,245 and only 11,282 were produced. This is a 1959 Edsel Corsair convertible. Out of 9,318 Edsels produced in 1959, only 1,343 were convertibles. This one states it has a 332 cubic inch engine that produces 225 horsepower at 4,000 RPMs. Yeah, personally, I really like the grills on these cars. Ford Model 18 pickup was the first Ford fitted with a flathead V8. The truck hit the market in March of 1932, costing a grand total of $610. Since a lot of people want to make these into hot rods, the original one is hard to find. Although many people say that the Ford Ranchero is the first truck based on a car platform, and I beg to differ. This is a 1936 Chevrolet Standard Series Coupe pickup. Only 3,183 were ever produced, coming with a 79 horsepower 6-cylinder. This is a pretty sweet little ride. This 1948 Chrysler Town & Country sedan states it has a 6-cylinder in it, but the 6-cylinder had 114 brake horsepower. The inline 8 had 135, so I'm a little confused. If you have any information about this, please leave it in the comments below. This would be a great going to church car or maybe just taking the family out for a Sunday drive. The Rolls-Royce 2025 was built between 1929 to 1936. During that time, 3,827 was produced, and it is believed that 70% of those are still roadworthy today. In 1932, the gas tank increased from 14 gallons to a whopping 18 gallons. This is a 1932 Buick Model 67. It had a windshield that opened up 1 inch to allow air circulation through the car. It also had a warming blanket hanging rod for the rear passengers. This is a 1957 Corvette. It belongs to the first generation of Vettes that ran from 1953 to 1962. In 1957, Chevrolet was proud of producing an engine that could produce 1 horsepower per cubic inch. Take a look around the hallway for a minute and don't leave, because there's a whole room full of muscle cars coming up soon. Take a second and go down there and hit that subscribe button. Maybe that notification button. Oh heck, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button too. It could really help our channel out. One of the most iconic Italian cars ever, the Lamborghini Countach. Every teenage boy had a dream of driving this car. Okay, if you like big motors, high horsepower, American muscle is it, so let's get to it. In 1968, Dodge sold almost 100,000 Chargers, and 17,584 had the Road and Track package. Of those, only 475 were produced with the 426 Street Hemi. Car and Driver said that this car could do 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds, not bad for a car that's a hair over 2 tons. In 1970, the quickest American production car was the Buick GSX Stage 1 455 cubic inch engine that was the highest torque rated car of its time, with 510 foot-pounds at 2,800 RPM. The 1968 Shelby Cobra GT 500 originally priced for $4,317 and came with a 428 Police Interceptor engine from 1967. How fast would it go? Well, the top speed was 130 miles per hour. In 1967, Chevrolet built the Stingray 427 convertible. It came with a Muncie M21 manual 4-speed, and the engine produced 435 horsepower at 460 pounds of torque. This is the second generation of Vets that were produced between 1963 to 1967. Okay, Teddy, I'm just going to totally ignore that. This 1970 Mercury Cyclone Spoiler 2 is a very rare car, since none were ever produced. The program was started to make the Mercury more competitive in NASCAR, but only 2 prototypes survived. Lee Iacocca decided to cut the motorsports budget by 75%, which killed the car before it even got started. The Pontiac GTO Judge Ram Air 4 came with a 6.6-liter engine or a 400 cubic inch, whichever you prefer and what side of the pond you're on. And the original price was $3,488. Okay, here's my 2 cents worth on this car. A GTO should never come with a vinyl top and should always have a tack on the hood. What do you think? Please leave some comments on this one. The 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda was the last year of the Hemi Cuda, with less than 110 being built. 48 of those came with an automatic transmission, and the original price was $4,348. If I could only go back in time and buy, 5 of them? Savoy is always changing out their cars, so what you see today is not what you see tomorrow, so check the place out. I hope you like this edition of Loving the Real World, and it would be real nice if you could go down there and give us a thumbs up. You made it through this far. Anyway, well, I hope you keep it between the ditches, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.